Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. It is morning. Wherever in the world you are tuned in to another edition of Classic Tetris Monthly. I'll just run through the brackets that we're gonna do today. First off, it's gonna be our orange bracket. And we're gonna do these in reverse order. The 8 and 9 match gonna be DanVweller and Allenbot. All right, everybody, both players are ready for CTM Masters February 2024. DanV and Allenbot are ready to go. First match of the month, 3-2-1 Tetris. Do I need to refresh DanV? It's like very delayed. Thank you so much for the gift sub, Xenon, BMW Bearcat 79. You have received a sub from Xenon. Really appreciate it. Both players are underway. I gotta fix a little bit of stencil here. You never quite know what stencil you're gonna get month to month from players. Sometimes you gotta mess with the stencil. It's not the stencil, it's usually the previous inhabitant of that slot here in OBS is the problem. $27,000 here early days for DanV, $29,000 Allenbot. DanV from the United Kingdom, Allenbot from Singapore. So we're through the magic of television. We have these two players playing against one another. Allenbot with a big spire there, column 7 and 8. Players have matched up twice before. Once in Masters. And actually, they are the 8 and 9 seeds this month. And they were the 8 and 9 seeds in December 2023. DanV took that one in a sweep, I believe, if I remember correctly. I think they also faced each other in Challengers or something like that. Challengers, of course, are next lowest tier. We got tournaments for all skill levels. So if you're watching this and you want to give competitive Tetris a try, next month would be a great month to do it. Go to ctm.gg. Well, actually use the qual command on Twitch. Or if you're not on Twitch, go to go.ctm.gg/qualify, I think works. Allenbot kind of a misdrop with that Z piece. That's going to set up a spin tuck situation, which Allenbot is going to miss. Split double here. Trying to get that right side open. 142 Allenbot. Late flat long bar there. 144, 186 DanV. Manter 7, thanks for the tier 1 sub. 24 months, 2 years. Amazing. Yeah, these players did face each other. These exact same seeds, I believe, 2023 December. Just 2 months ago. Thanks for the $10 super chat, Tom J. Really appreciate that. Very generous, and love those super chats. DanV, of course, a former CTM Masters event winner, won Faster Masters in May of 2023. I can't believe that was 10 months ago. It was like yesterday. And Allenbot did place second in a CTM. That's his best finish, September 2023. Of course, Allenbot, you're reigning back-to-back Singapore CTWC qualifier champion, or regional, whatever you want to call it. $326, DanV through 80 lines, 286. Allenbot uncovers that right side well. Uses the long bar to get the Tetris, not to fill in the middle. Doesn't matter. It's a low, clean stack. Now, I don't know how many people have done this, but DanV, one of the few, I would imagine, to have won. Now, if you only watch Masters and CTM and you don't really play, you might not really know this, but we have, a series of tournaments all the way down. Players, they make their qualifying attempts And they get seeded anywhere from number 1 all the way down to like 100 and however many, seeded into a series of 16-player brackets. Masters, challengers, futures, hopefuls, and then a series of community tournament tiers. DanV, one of the few people to have won a Masters, a Challengers, a Futures, and a Hopefuls. So has won each of our tournaments in the top 64 at some point. So I don't know how many other people have done that, but that's pretty cool. And he won each one only one time. $4.94 DanV, $4.38 Allenbot. Right, it's 8 a.m. here in Texas. Luca on YouTube says, I'm from Europe and I don't have to stay up late to watch the match this time. Yeah. Well, you can get up early and watch tonight's action, at least one of them. All right, we transition in. DanV, 564. He's going to get another Tetris 588. Allenbot transitions in, I believe, 516, somewhere around there. He's at 540 now. I almost, I was made a few changes to some of our slides, and I had to remake my whole scene because all my graphics got deleted just for my stupidity and they weren't recoverable. Don't ask why. Don't ask like what terrible setup I used to have made that possible. So I had to remake this scene that you're looking at right now, just the graphics for it. And I was like, I could start putting the flags in there. I could do it. But if I had gotten some sleep, I would have done it. But I got no sleep. Oh, Allenbot with that J up the left, at the left misdrop. It's going to take this down with a Tetris. But he's going to recover. 682 Allenbot. Tetris here for DanV. 780, 98,000 point lead. And Allenbot setting up for the dirty Tetris and gets it. Tetris here, DanV. He says, what terrible setup do you use to have made that possible? Well, I do all my graphics in a web-based image editor called Pixlr. And it stores everything like in your cache, right? And unthinkingly, I cleared my browser cache. And I wasn't thinking about it. I was having some frustration doing some other thing. I cleared my browser cache. And it lets you back it up, and I thought I had backed it up. So I was like, oh, wait. Okay, good. I backed it up. But the backup didn't work. So, yeah, Pixlr is great. I've been using Pixlr since really the beginning of CTM. Like since the very beginning, October, or at least my beginning with it, October 2018, really. 927 DanV, 880 Allenbot. I actually pay for it. But I also pay for like Adobe. So what the heck am I still doing? I'm just afraid to use Adobe. I'll learn it. 994 DanV, 948 Allenbot. DanV with a Tetris and a max out A28. Allenbot left well Tetris 987 into level 28. And DanV 11 lines away, getting droughted and spired here. Long bar in for a Tetris A69. That's going to bring the stack down. Not 100% manageable on 29, but at least it's low. And this is going to be tough. Left side gets that square over Allenbot with a complicated board here on 29. And he might actually make this. DanV tops out A76. The target is A77. No, Allenbot not going to make it. And it's going to fall a little more than one Tetris short. DanV going to survive. Game one. GG's. All right, both players are ready here in game 2. DanV up 1-0. Let's go 3, 2, 1 Tetris. No, they had the right seed the first time. I'm checking every time because I just don't have the energy to invest, 12 minutes into a game only and have to replay it. I just can't do it. I haven't slept. Sorry, here I go whinging again. But, that's what I do. I'm BCTM. I didn't whinge. Can I also do a face cam of myself? No, I want people to watch this, not throw up. Veed and Sharma. And it's about the players. It's not about me. It's about the players. Maybe there's some CTWC commentators that, put their face all over the place. Thinking about them. Look at that Vits for Allenbot and the Tetris, and set up already for another Tetris. Yes, very illegal delayed Vits. $120 for Allenbot, $139 for DanV. Pumpy's looking forward to seeing my ranking of the players. Yeah, I got to do that today. When is the deadline, Pumpers? I was kind of working on it the other day. There is a... I mean, is this announced? I don't even know. Well, he's saying it in chat here, but yeah, there's going to be this ranking system based on polling, sort of like college football. End of the day, February 28th. Well, you probably know I'll do it exactly on that date. 256 for DanV, 243. No, I'll try to get it done this weekend. But I was looking over, and it's tough. There's too many good players, It's very challenging. So yeah, there's a ranking system that Pumpy Heart is putting together. And, it's sort of along the lines of the college football rankings where they poll, quote, experts, like the experts poll. Apparently I'm some kind of expert. I think they're just letting me in out of pity. But it's tough, I was starting to play with the rankings, and there's a lot that goes into that. 312 here, Allenbot, 347 DanV, halfway through 18. Tetris Allenbot. Because, not only is it just like, well, who do I, you got to think, who is the best now? Like, and for me, it's just like, well, who could beat who, and who would I trust to win a Tetris match against alien invaders for the fate of the planet? That's a tough thing. The other tough thing for me is I've tried really hard not to come out and say, oh, who I think is better, who's favored. Like, I just feel like as a tournament organizer, I don't want someone sitting here playing and somehow the thought comes in their mind that, oh, I don't think they're as good as some other players. But I want to participate in the polls. 388 Allenbot, 441 DanV. Allenbot set up dirty here, column 7. 2 rows off the bottom and gets it, 411. So yeah, then the other complexity is certain players haven't played in a long time, or they don't play as often as other players. So it's a lot that sort of goes into it. Game Scout says Rob Manfred's MLB team power ranking would be a pretty fire column. Rob Manfred is the commissioner of baseball, so it'd be weird to see him ranking players, right? So I mean, I really shouldn't be in the business of ranking players. Abby Normal with the $10 contribution to the prize pool. Thank you so much, Abby Normal. We also had a contribution which I missed here from Charlotte in the amount of $5. We also had people doing sponsor quests, so thank you so much, Charlotte and Abby Normal for your contributions. $15 in the prize pool. Appreciate it. Gamesco said, has Luis played in the last 6 months? I mean, that's the tough part is you got to think, okay, who am I? You know, you can't just, that has to factor into it. Allenbot with a this drop of that T, and just before the 19 transition, you know, of course, 19 transition is not as scary as it used to be back in my day. I guess it's still my day. But, you know, you still want to have a good stack going into 19. Yeah, Luis won Masters and then pretty much stopped playing. So where do you rank him? I mean, is he even eligible to be ranked? You have to have played. I don't know. I don't really know all the rules. 554 Allenbot, 680 for DanV. So big transition for DanV. Over 120,000 point lead, and still adding onto that lead as Allenbot is cleaning up. Yeah, so Allen's still in cleanup mode. I know I'm going to say things wrong today. I mean, I'm going on no sleep. I'm going to call one player the other player's name. I'm going to get numbers wrong. Just be kind to your old pal, vandweller. He's going through some stuff, you know? DanV looks like he's setting up here 2 rows off the bottom, column 10. Looking for that quick bar. Game going to make him sweat it a little bit. Taking a few skims. There's a long bar and the Tetris. DanV not using that L to fill in. He's going to stay 2 rows off the bottom. No problem for the roller. Another Tetris, 808. DanV up 140,000 points. He's taking the skims to bring it down. That'll give Allenbot a chance to cut into that lead a bit. 698. Tetris 728. So back now by under 100,000 points. And set up for another. Both players are going to get it. Yeah, Pumpy saying I could even rank Joseph if I want. No current limit currently. I don't think I'll be putting him on my list. I think there's got to be some. I mean, listen, it's a work in progress. We're working. You know, he's working out the kinks. We'll figure it out. But I think you've got to have played at least, you know, in the past year. Oh, he said in Harry's chat he's coming to CTWC. Oh, could be interesting. An unranked player. I don't know. Maybe I'll rank him. I don't know. I haven't seen him play. I see him lifting on Instagram. 996 DanV, 853 Allenbot. So DanV able to get that, start building back on that lead again. Good adjustment there for DanV. That Z and then the J piece. Good morning, Alex T. At this point, I think Joseph has to be an unranked player. It's just, you can't make any educated guess on what he's able to do. 940 Allenbot, B10 for DanV into 29. So 150,000 point lead. DanV trying to bring this down a little bit. Has a well there, triple down the middle for DanV, B29. Allenbot trying to build. Now we do have a level 39 super kill screen. Players get 100 lines of this speed. Tetris Allenbot, A31. He's setting up aggro with that L there in column 8 and 9. Set up a Tetris well. Oh my God, look at the adjustment. He's got that well open now. He's bringing it down, but he can't get a bar. If they get a bar, there's a Tetris A88. DanV at B62. So Allenbot cutting into this lead. DanV has been kind of just kind of singling, doubling, not taking any big risks. Allenbot taking the risk, kind of has to. Gets a Tetris down the middle. Allenbot, B41. He's back by less than a Tetris now. And he's going to get that Tetris. And Allenbot is only down by about 5,000 points now. And he's actually in the lead. He's just going ham and getting Tetrises. And you can see DanV now knows this and has got to start going for it. Gets a Tetris over there, C43. But Allenbot in the lead by about 36,000 points. That is less than a Tetris. There's another Tetris for Allenbot. And he's just stacking, like he's doing 19 stacking here, just going for it. And DanV's board starting to break down. He was ahead the entire way. Allenbot's board breaking down, but he is going to take game number 2 and tie this up. I mean, Allenbot just coming on so strong. Post 29, he just did not stop. All right, both players are ready. What was once a best of 5 is now a best of 3 between DanV and Allenbot. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. I know Kingsman is the Babe Ruth of Tetris, but only just for cholesterol. Both players underway here. Stack's getting kind of high, a little bit droughty. Jose Lima says, can you explain what the orange means and how the competition or brackets in CTM works? Well, you know, it's a 16-player tournament. You can really divide it into 4 quadrants, and the colors just indicate, or just a way of visually breaking it up so you can visualize what it all looks like very easily. So Allenbot offline again. We'll try to stay with him. We'll go another. Oh, he's back. All right, he's back. So keep playing, everybody. He's back. He's back. He's back. Keep playing. Keep playing. Don't top out. Keep playing. Allenbot was having trouble before. Possibly his stream issues maybe a little distracting. I know it's tough to play under those conditions. 151 Allenbot, 205 DanV. Sage with the tier 1 sub, 15 months. Thank you, Sage. Subbing on Twitch. Still find it, I always hesitate, like, okay, a sub on Twitch is the same as a follow on YouTube. So when it says someone followed on YouTube, I don't want to go all effusively like, oh my God, thank you for the sub. I mean, it's nice that you're following. Oh, there we go. Allenbot with the spin. 188. All right, Allenbot open for a dirty Tetris, trying to avoid putting pieces over on the right side. Takes a couple of burns there. Tetris down the middle. Going to take a moment to wipe the brow, the hair, face. Allenbot trying to clean up this board. 225, 378. DanV. Bahadur, I definitely see you chatting. I can't diagnose your Discord problems here in the middle of the Masters bracket. But if you want to email, I don't know. Email monthlytetris@gmail.com. Can't get into the Discord. 278 Allenbot. He's going to get a Tetris 300. 470 DanV. Allenbot open there in column 6, waiting for the bar. Scheming out a square in that middle. And there it is, Tetris down the middle. Allenbot 332, but DanV at 518. He's going to get a Tetris about 180 some odd thousand points ahead. DanV 589. Looking for another 600k plus transition. Couple of Tetrises here, 634. Allenbot 390. Not having a game right now. There's a Tetris Allenbot. At least he's going to transition over 400k. DanV transition 658. About a 240,000 point difference. DanV continuing to pile on. Allenbot with a good board though. Get out of that mess. And now he's going to try to salvage. Line spin DanV. We did see Allenbot chase down very aggressively on 29. So this match not over by any means. Tetris Allenbot 516. There's one. DanV 762. We're into level 21. Remember, if you want to contribute to the prize pool, go to ctm.gg/matcherino. We had another contribution. Not all of them are showing up. We've just had a weird problem with some notifications showing up and some not. But we had another one from BP in the amount of $50. Says GG. Thank you so much, BP, for the $50 contribution. I don't know, maybe I just missed it. But I appreciate it, BP. Very generous. Tetris Allenbot 630. There's one in column 8 for Dan. Tetris Allenbot. So Allenbot's trying to cut into this lead like he did in game number 2. 683 Allenbot, 953 DanV, building that lead out again. Has a long bar hole in the middle of the stack. Just going to go to work trying to bring this down. With this big a lead, you do not need to take big risks. So he's got piling up stuff on that right side. Is not pleased having to do that. Should be fairly low, but things can fester, even for the best. And he's going to uncover that right side, get rid of all that. A lot of burning. But there's a Tetris. He's got the max out on 26 and another Tetris A33. He really did not lose any of that lead. In fact, maybe have gained some lead. Not able to do much during that time. Tetris DanV A68. There's a long bar over to the left side Tetris for Allenbot. Oh, and he's going to double flip that long bar. Not going to get that Tetris on the left. That's concerning. DanV with gaps in the middle of the stack and getting droughted. Does not like it. B05. There's a Tetris DanV B40. He's going to get into 29 at like B40 some odd. Going to try to bring this down. Does not want to get run down again by Allenbot. Shown that he can really turn it on 29. So DanV with a good board, B65. That's a 1.1 million. There's another Tetris DanV with a 1.2 million. A means a million. B means 1.1 million. C means 1.2 and so on. Tetris DanV C50. There's one. Allenbot 934. So over 300,000 point lead for DanV. And Allenbot just has to go, go, go. And DanV just has to not top out. Oh, and Allenbot, the middle of that stack. He's going to top out at 985. DanV going to take, excuse me, game number 3. DanV, if you want to play it out, that's fine. No, he's going to take the intentional top out. Let's go. Game 4, 3-2-1 Tetris. Allenbot has never beaten DanV. They've only played 2 times previous. K9 watching Tetris in the chat. 3-2-1 countdown bits. Thank you very much. $57,000 DanV, 97,000 Allenbot. Oh man. People are getting into Allenbot with another double flip. That's going to clear away in one line, but doesn't give you a lot of confidence. 146 Allenbot, 108 DanV. Slow start. Dan. Yeah, people are getting into, greatest of all time debates. And these debates are always almost entirely fruitless because you're just comparing people at different eras. Oh, is Babe Ruth better than, Mickey Mantle? I mean, it's so hard to compare. So I think you could just define dominance over a particular era and then just put everybody in, hey, you're all in the top echelon. But you can say, is Mike Schmidt better than Ty Cobb? How do you know? There's no way to adjudicate. 179 DanV, 245 Allenbot. And you can make all the advanced statistics you want. But even in baseball, sometimes those statistics don't pass the eye test. Yeah, Marvin's like, actually, you can compare eras now, but that's assuming all the stats. I mean, that's just taking them at face value. Like they claim to, and they give you an output. Sometimes you see baseball players with this guy's WAR is like 226, but he wasn't as good as the other guy. 338 Allenbot, 253 DanV. Like he just doesn't seem as good. $338 Allenbot, 277 DanV. FellJ says Tetris isn't like baseball because you don't play a person, you play an RNGC. Well, you do play a person. You think people who race in a race don't race against each other? Of course you do. 408 Allenbot, 323 DanV. Line's been DanV. Means an automatic victory. Tetris, DanV, 441, 486, Allen. Allenbot, two-time winner of CTWC Singapore. Highest finish in a CTM second, September 2023. Last month with a top 4 going out against Fractal. Allenbot, definitely has the stuff to take one of these down one day. Has gotten deep. But competition's so tough nowadays. 606 Allenbot. He's going to get a Tetris. He's got a 630 transition. There's one down the middle for Allenbot. I think it's the first real lead Allenbot has had, around this point in the game in this match. Oh no, Allenbot gonna hang pieces here, 686. So DanV has a target of 687. Excuse me, Allenbot was really looking like he was on fire. Oh, DanV with the Vits. And Allenbot just looked determined, like he was like just locked in. And then all of a sudden, a couple of hangs. Not over yet. DanV still needs 30,000 points. Practices, I need a bit to warm up. What? You've been doing this whole time. All right, well, Allenbot is no longer streaming, so to me that is a... unless you come back, see what DanV does. I tend to call that a forfeit. There is a real victory there for DanV. 704. We'll take it for DanV. Go ahead and give the dot. There it is. DanV will be moving on into round 2. Go ahead and run an ad on Twitch. I don't know how to do it on YouTube. Hey everybody, this is your old pal vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. Join our Discord server, the largest classic Tetris community online, at ctm.gg/discord, and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.